Welcome in CCA Nation to your Division 4 semifinals. My name is Nasu11910. I'm joined today by Lagoon, and we're here casting this spicy semifinals up where we have WPI Grizzco Union Busters going up against Kraken Cove, in which should be a Kraken match today. Lagoon, how are we looking? How are we feeling for today's match?
You stole the pun before I was even going to make it. But yes, this is Grizzco Union Busters are still currently undefeated in their Season 5 expenditure because they went undefeated through groups, and then won via forfeit in their quarterfinals match against the GMU Academy. And then Kraken Cove had a quarterfinals game against UGA Red where they went 5-3. So this is going to be WPI's first real test in the playoffs here, because they had obviously a forfeit win sometime last week against GMU, but now this is the time where they're going to prove, okay, we deserve to hang here, we deserve to go for the title, and it's going to be them versus Kraken Cove here, and we're going to start out here on Clan Blitz on Inkflaw Art Academy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of prestige making it up into playoffs, but it's a completely different story making it here into semifinals and maybe not having a match under your belt kind of getting warmed up against these other teams, because once you enter playoffs, it's a lot more of a level playing field where all these teams have had to prove that they deserve that second seed in their group. Going into here, it's going to be interesting to see how WPI kind of interacts with another team at their level when they haven't really had that taste yet. So it's really going to be good for Kraken, maybe coming in with a little bit of a warm-up going into this. So yeah, we're going to Clan Blitz. That's where we're going to start today's match off. Inkblot Academy. This could be a little stally, so we're going to have to see what the compositions are here, kind of depending to see if the teams opt to maybe be a little bit more opportunistic or try to seize the match for themselves. But we're going to go ahead and start leading in. Lagoon, tell us what we're seeing once we get here into the battle.
Well, we're going to see if the Union can bust down on the Cove, or if the Cove can get Kraken against the Union Busters as we're heading into Game 1 here. And as you said earlier, these are the top seeds in each of their respective groups. WPI for Group 2 and Kraken Cove for Group 1 of Div 4. So yeah, these are like two of the top four teams, and right away we're going to see a dynamo roller out from WPI, and the squeeze looks. Oh, I thought that was a double squeezer for a second from Kraken, but no, it's just a one squeezer. And so Grizzco has this dynamo roller, which is going to be very useful if they ever get it on top of the stacks, because dynamo, with that horizontal flick, can paint so much of this map so quickly. And then the Rapid Blaster is able to get those picks to follow up on the Dynamo's chip damage. Meanwhile, from Kraken Cove, we have the double Zuka comp with the squeezer and the shot, the machine to provide booyah bombs to maybe provide a way to get in, and the zap as their cooler option.
Yeah, really interesting to see kind of how the
zap.
Sure, that's going to be really, really strong. And as you said, getting that power position up onto the stacks is going to be really big, as we can see that's been a huge opening here, all the way to 23 points for the side of the Busters. They're already trying to do a lot here, and that's a pretty good lead to start off. That's already down to 3 minutes 30 as a Booyah Bomb is going to come in and clear, as we can see that a lot of map presence is actually being held from the lower panes comp, as the Crab is going to come out on the side of the stack, try to clear out all that mid, finds one eventually as the Zukas come out, but are going to swiftly trade out that Crab from the stack.
Yeah, the Union Busters had a really good opening push, getting the Kraken Cove, getting their score all the way down to 23, and Kraken Cove had to play a little bit of defense there, but now they're establishing their presence in mid, trying to find picks now, but the Blaster, looking at them, gets the dualies down. They have a Zuka and a Booyah Bomb ready. They don't have the clans yet to quite push. They only have 8, and they're going to need so much more in it or to get down to even close to WPI's score, but it looks like WPI is again just stuck in their court. Dynamo is down, no cooler for them. They're gonna have to play their specials. They have a Jet and a Zuka ready, but again, it's just Kraken Cove just getting these picks one by one, but they can't quite push yet. Now would be looks like the time, but the squeezer is gonna go down from the Dynamo flank.
Ooh.
3 go down for Kraken Cove, and they're going to have to play for a reset here. Very good defense here by WPI.
Yeah, and you kind of see how the timing that you're talking about there, Lagoon, kind of played into that, right? They had the clams that they needed, but they didn't have the power clams. They were yet to form those, and kind of in the delay of trying to generate them, there had to be expenditure of specials coming out from Kraken Cove, and that's not what you want. You want to have all of them at the same time to be able to get that really good push, those multiple power clams in. Instead, that's going to lead to a momentum shift of a snowball over towards the side of Grizzco Union. That's going to allow for a little bit of an open.
Yeah, but the problem there was they scored a power clam, but they didn't really get anything off of it. They still have a really big penalty to work through. And at that point, if you're this far ahead on Clam Blitz, you have to realize, okay, scoring 1 power clam is literally not going to do anything for us is the problem. You get through like half your penalty or whatever, but then you're just giving your opponents more chances to get back at you. So I feel like now if WPI has to push, they should push when they at least have 2 power clams, so that way they can make a sizable increase to either get 2 power clams or have all of Kraken Cove down, which looks like they're coming for here. They have another power clam, but it looks like the sloshing machine is able to get 2, but there's a lot more clams coming in. The power clam is coming in, gets it down to 8, but the Splat Duo is not able to get it. Justin on the shot is so close, but not quite able to do it.
So close, down to 5. It will be the basket closing at that last moment, but a powerful power clam going in there to really shift the tide of that. And now we're down to a minute, right? Now you kind of have to think the other way. You have to think about, okay, we just need to chase out the time here. We need to make sure that in this next minute there isn't any super big push. So maybe getting 1 power clam in just to apply pressure could be good, but that applies a good amount of pressure as well, as that's going to be a Zuka coming in, killing that Dynamo. That's a lot of presence off that stack. And now this middle is being regained. We can see the Booyah Bomb is starting to come out. It's being charged up to go into the base, hopefully opening something up. Kellogg's over here with the power clam, having to play kind of safe, knowing that these 30 seconds are going to be crucial to start one final push to hopefully bring this map home for the Cove.
Yeah, Cove has to do a lot of work here to get back in. They barely have like more power clams than WPI right now, but they keep trading with they keep getting that Dynamo out to go down from WPI, and it's going to be down to Hamburglar here on this rapid to pop this inkjet and get some good picks. There they go, 2 go down up in the front from the Spoolies. The Booyah Bomb not able to do anything, and all of Kraken Cove is just gone. They were wiped out, no power clams left, and WPI will take game 1 here.
Not long for this world. Kraken Cove gonna have to go back to the drawing board there, just really getting zoned out, not being able to regain that middle ground. That was really steadily in control of that really powerful and oppressive rapid Dynamo combo, what we were talking about earlier, that rapid just holding those lanes, kind of coming through ramp and going into the middle ground, along with the Dynamo being able to hold those stacks was just way too much, even though, as you were pointing out, Lagoon, towards the end, it does seem like Kraken Cove is trying to figure it out a little bit, and they're starting to get those picks onto the Dynamo, but it's going to be interesting to see, as there's map evolution here, if those power positions for the Dynamo are going to be a little bit more contested for the side of Kraken Cove.
Yeah, and people think of Dynamo as more... It is seen more of as a map-dependent weapon, because it can either get run up on so easily, or it can just control so much of the map. And they were able to kill out a lot with the Dynamo towards the end, and they didn't have cooler up. But I believe it was Seraph on the side of WPI with the dualies that were able to get those 2 picks over against Kraken Cove, which allowed them to stall out for a little longer and make the final defense they needed to finish off the game and make Kraken Cove go down 1-0 here. But we're going to head into game 2, and we should probably look at, while we have time, look at our keys to victory here, so we can look at, what exactly these teams are scheming.
For sure. As we can see, WPI, they're a team who does like that Dynamo roller. We're going to expect some of that coming onto these next maps. For example, we're going to go to Splat Zones, Barnacle and Dime. You can run it on there, you know, you can use more of those horizontal swings. So that's what we're going to see there, and it's going to be interesting to see how we get the generation of the coolers there, right? We're seeing the NZAP against the Dynamo roller here. And that's going to be really important for that first key to victory, chaining those specials. It's something that we saw Union Busters do a little bit better. Kraken Cove was able to generate them, but not really use them to their full advantage together. Afterwards, Union Busters also wants to exploit their own team comp, the opponent's team comp's weaknesses with their diversity. Going to be kind of hard to kind of figure how you do that with the Dynamo roller, but they're pulling that off right now. And then lastly, they need a Nikki stream, so hopefully Nikki is on the case right now. It seems like Nikki is, because Union Busters is really using that key right now.
Yeah, and while Kraken Cove doesn't have any keys themselves, they say expect the machine and not. We didn't see the not last game, but with this much flatter map of Barnacle and Dime, you know, having those two plats and the mid being a lot more flatter than Inkblot, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it out right now. But it looks like WPI has the same comp. Yep, and there's the knot and the machine out from Kraken Cove. There's a little more flat space to work with. That means that knot is going to be like a laser beam if it can ever get up onto WPI's plat, and just because so much mayhem and so many problems for them.
Of course, I like this change towards the knot, right? As you said, a lot more of a flatter field. It's going to allow for kind of some movement and hopefully some nice cheeky kills here. As we can see, it's some early trades to start out. It's just kind of some temporary control that's going to be traded back a little bit. But this might contribute a little bit better into Kraken Cove's comp, right? They're playing what should on paper be a heavier paint composition here, but the issue is what's going to happen right here, right? You have all of this zoning that's now going to happen. You have all these positions that the Union Busters are going to be able to take here. And this could lead into a lockout if the specials aren't generated for the side of Kraken Cove. So it has to be very careful, calculated play as the timer keeps going down here.
Yeah, now that we're in this position, you're gonna really want to look at how the Booyah Bomb, how the Rain, and how the Zookas are gonna come out from Kraken Cove, almost taking out that Crab Tank, getting rid of it. The Rain they're gonna finish it off, and they're gonna have to use this Booyah Bomb really smartly to get back zone, throw it at the cooler. They're gonna throw it at the zone to pressure off the cooler. They have almost enough, but this Dynamo causing problems. Kraken Cove get back in and make a really good defense to not make sure they don't get locked out, but they're still in a little bit of trouble. They have this Inkjet from Hamburglar and this Dynamo from out to deal with, and they just got back to mid, but then now it's back to neutral, and now it's a firefight to see who can get the most picks first.
Yeah, they ended up trading, but there was Soda advantage there for the side of Union Busters. Very nice little kills there going in from the back from the Jet. But yeah, that kind of change from the respawns there just ended up going the side of Union Busters. So it is a nice cap that is giving that penalty, but the penalty is quickly dwindling down. It's going to essentially have to be the same exact thing here to get possession back and then try to win the fight afterwards. But the Soda might come up here for either side. We can see that the NZAP is already generated for the side of Cove. The question is the Dynamo going to be ready for this?
Yeah, and again, it's going to come up to this Booyah Bomb here. Not able to get much of anything done. So this Zuka, Chris, is going to have to do a lot is work. The zone is contested again, and Kraken Cove is finally able to get the man advantage here. And now Kraken Cove finally is able to push WPI back into their own court, and now they're able to start maybe doing a lockout here. But unfortunately, their machine goes down, and they're just dropping like five to this Zuka and this Jet.
Oh, right.
Out, and just as soon as Cove gets back in to WPI's base, they have to try now get back into their own court, and WPI again just right back there, swinging it back into their favor.
Yeah, I can imagine that there might be some words being exchanged right now in voice chat in terms of that early death from the machine. There was really nice pressure, but the whole point was you had to win the fight afterwards, right? Kraken Cove was able to do that, but then they expend that early kill, and now it leads them to a situation where they're about 10 seconds out from losing. That is 2 nice picks, though. They have to move in fast, though. 6 seconds left, 5. It is picks going the way, but not the zone. Please paint the square. It didn't quite happen in time. That's going to be a second map going the way of Grizzco Union Busters as they extend their lead to 2-0.
Yeah, and you were talking about the machine earlier. Just I saw him going after the rapid blaster, and at one point you got to realize, okay, is this really worth it? Like, what are the benefits here if I kill this rapid blaster now versus I have them come back in? Sure, you might make them lose their jet, but you're so far into their port, and your team hasn't caught up with you yet. You saw the rest of Kraken Cove getting to WPI's plat and just getting set up, but the machine was like, no, I have to get this, and you're in a firefight with the Rapid, but all of WPI is coming back. You're really close to their spawn, and then WPI was able to get back in. And at the very end, the picks went in Kraken Cove's way, but there just unfortunately was not enough time. You had Justin on the shot, able to just pick off crisps from Cove and just kind of act as a stall weapon, so a staller, so that the rest of the points can tick away and provide the knockout for WPI. So Kraken Cove has to be like, okay, we can get back in fine. We just have to make sure we stay there and make sure we're not rushing. You see it's a lot. You rush, you panic. You can't let those emotions take the better of you. Sometimes it's just best to stay cool. Try and just analyze, like, okay, if we get this pick, what does it do? Even I know it's a very split-second decision, but this is what Kraken Cove's gonna have to do as we head into Game 3 here on Tower Control Hagglefish Market.
Yeah, exactly. Cool heads are essential when to make it up into playoff play. You need to make sure that you're always making those right decisions because you're going up against teams that have been training to punish these things against weaker teams throughout the regular season. Right there, that would have been maybe a better scenario where you want to, zone out the Rapid, make sure that they have to go deeper into their base, but stay back, maybe stay behind the ramp, build that booyah, which is a huge zoning ult, which can really give you a further advantage there and get you further into the points. So that's great and all, but we're going to make sure that we don't overheat onto this next map because we're going towards tower control Hagglefish, right? This is another map where if you just kind of put the accelerators on, you can get pretty deep into enemy territory as well. But just like we saw previously, those are potentially dangerous positions where you can get jumped on, where you can get surrounded quite easily, or your team can go in and absolutely dominate the area. We're going in now into Hagglefish, but this is going to require a lot of educated play. Maybe the thinking man's map of Splatoon 3 as the teams load in.
Yeah, on this map especially, once you get to checkpoint 1, there's that top right area where they can the other team can kind of just hound you from, and you have to have a plan for that while also watching, the 10 area when you're getting that first checkpoint. But it looks like they're not even going to bring the machine out here, which I'm surprised by, because machine is very good on this map. It has the properties of a blaster to get people off tower, the fizzy bombs, and the booyah bomb as sort of a GG special. But from WPI, we see the Z and the F for the strikes and the incline tent from Kraken Cove. So I'm very interested to see how that'll be working. But it looks like it's working as my guy gets a double pick right there, looking to get another 2, pops the Zuka under the tent, unfortunately, but he's able to push back WPI, but they're not riding tower yet. And now they're finally going to get some points on the board here. It's Kraken Cove immediately out the gate with this 10 pick going much better, and now they're going to be the ones setting the tone for the match.
Okay, yeah, so very clearly, as you said, you are losing the very high utility of the machine going into this map. And yeah, I was a bit surprised to not see it either, but then you have that tent which can get into the middle and just take these really skirmishy duels, get behind enemy lines and do some work, which we just witnessed there into the first fight. What is going to be a little bit difficult is getting past through after the first checkpoint, because after that point, the tent Brella has to rely a little bit more on being able to play around this ramp area where we're seeing some amazing shots coming in from that jetpack. So it is going to be a little bit hard as you continue to go through the map, but it did work to kind of get in first. But now it's the opposing fight here. Ooh, a nice little kill again from my guy who's really trying to make that tent work. But some nice progress. That's all right. Checkpoint 2 for the side of Grizzco.
Yeah, and it looks like Grizzco's comp here is a lot more. You have the two sort of mid back lines with the Charger and the Dynamo, but this Dynamo is putting in so much work from out right now. They've been able to just stay on those switchbacks, and any time that Kraken Cove has tried to make any sort of push there, they're able to just swing up the Dynamo. They finally go down, But they did so much work, and now Justin's going to get in. Chris has his Zuka, so it's a little bit of a Zuka. There's double Zuka on the side of Kraken. My guy pops it. Justin goes down from the side of WPI, and now Mash has the knot with the rain. Jetpack is ready, and it looks like now Kraken Cove getting back into mid here. But the flanking Dynamo again from out. He gets 2, gets 3, and it's just Chris on the side of Kraken Cove, and they have to back off now and wait for the teammates.
Single-handedly, Out is flipping the map right now on the side of Kraken Cove. I mean, I don't blame them. They were confidently going in to that mid, but then you let that Dynamo behind and quickly gets 2, absolutely changing the momentum here. And now it's slippery footing here as Grizzco has to Kraken has to try to recamp onto these high grounds, trying to take that possession, not allowing for the Dynamo to get up on tower. We saw what happened last time, really hard to get him off, as Guy has to move back a little bit. Justin trying to contest this Tensebrella, isn't going to find the better end of it though, as checkpoint 2 is continuing to be taken here, but 2 not much available. It's very grimy over here. No team has solid footing so far getting onto the second checkpoint.
Yeah, the only true aggressor you really see from WPI is the shot. So Justin's doing a lot to try and push the objective forward. You have the rapid backing him up and the splash to the ZNF, but now Out is on top right, but they all go down.
Big collapse.
I think it was, I think it was from the knot or I don't know, honestly don't know what it was, but that was a really good double pick there. And now Kraken Cove is just again trying to get back into mid here. This is what WPI wants in this match. They want mid control because now they can just camp out there. They can set up their defenses. They have the Dynamo to fling out a bunch of paint, the rapid and the shot to hold people at bay. And if anyone tries to get a little too close, they have that Z and Def. So they're gonna have to really make use of these Zukas. Unfortunately, my guy goes down, and now WPI again just playing the game, not moving forward, keeping their position really good and really airtight. And it's gonna take a lot for Kraken Cove to get back in as we're heading to the final 30 seconds.
Yep, that's all they have to do here. They have a pretty good lead, 30 seconds left, as you noted out. Now they can just play for specials. And it's kind of funny, you go from this, from playing this kind of push mentality on tower control, but now that you have this lead, you can just play it as if it were turf war, build these specials, hold out on mid. You just have to be careful about the tents. But funnily enough, you have the Dynamo breaking those shields, breaking through, but there is a flank coming in. This could be a little bit dangerous. There's some cornering here. That's a quick 2 kill for the Nautilus. You can see it gets traded out right quickly, but still, that's a 1-man advantage for Kraken Cove. They're throwing in the specials and not allowing for 4 to reunite. Now it's going to be going up into this first checkpoint, which is steadily going down, should be taken rather quickly. It's going to be moving on to the second. Only 1 guy, but now it's 2 as my guy joins onto the tower right there. Oh, this is big. This is big. It's 3 going in. The Jet is going to finish it off, not allowing the second checkpoint to even be reached.
Yeah, Kraken Cove had a really good push. The knot got 2 down, just left the shot, and then I don't know which Zuka it was, but there was a Zuka that got 2 more picks. But that Jet from Hamburglar was able to just get 2 picks on the tower, just shooting right down it like blaster style, air jet blaster style, getting the picks they need, only leaving the shot on the side of Kraken Cove. And WPI now 3-0 against Kraken Cove, and at this point it's like, okay, what do we gotta do here? You got a lot closer that time with the tent comp, but WPI looked so good for so long in that game. But 1 chip in their defenses in that comp, and it just kind of feels like it kind of fell apart a little bit, but not enough to make them lose lead. So this is Kraken Cove's going to be like, okay, we know what we need to do. We need to get back into this somehow. Game 4 is going to be on Rainmaker on Manta Maria, and it's going to be interesting. This Dynamo from Out is going to be so good on Manta, because Manta is such a good Dynamo map.
Oh yeah, it's. I personally think that I'd rather have a Dynamo on Manta than like a proper backline, than like a sniper or something, kind of giving it that mid backline status. I feel like it just fares better here, mainly because backlines on this map tend to struggle a little bit more. You have to really know the positioning. You have to be very practiced on this map to do it. So I feel like overall, the Dynamo just kind of gets more general value. You can play on the grates, you can play up on kind of the mini high grounds. You can always look towards bunkers. So I think it is going to fare better here.
Yeah, Manta, you really don't see like the Chargers doing a lot of work. You usually see if you
Hmm.
see any Charger, you're gonna see Pencil. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of a common, but you usually see other things like you can see if I don't think any of them will bring it up, but if you we usually see like ballpoints and heavy edit splatlings. Again, the Dino is really good here. If they bring an Explo, that's going to be. I think Explo is really good on Meta Maria. Someone can call me out and tell me I'm wrong. I don't know how much about how Explo plays, but every time I run into an Explo on Manta, it's just so annoying to deal with. But yeah, this is kind of like you get to see a lot of different backlines play here, which is really going to be cool to see. It's going to be a Dynamo versus, I'm going to assume the Not again from the side of Kraken Cove, but we'll see what they bring out here. If they're going to bring out anything new or just try and run with the same thing and hope it sticks this time.
Yeah, for sure. I don't hate the knot here, but yeah, it's kind of like, what do you do against the Dynamo? The Dynamo is going to beat you out on that probably. And, ooh, a nice little bamboozler. Seems like we're having some fun time here. The tent is going to stay for my guy. As C Crisps also has that shot, which we saw. That was the main aggressor kind of going up against Justin. So going to be interesting to see, but I want to see, why are we running the bamboozler here? Why are we getting a little silly? Not a silly pick in terms of being bad, just it has to be played a certain way, and we're going to see if it's able to find something early on here. You can see these are some nice positions for the Dynamo. Not really going to get all the full work. It is a late kill on the tent Brella though, as Hamburglar trying to maybe see if they can steal a position around on this high ground. It's going to be some nice whales, which are going to open up this first checkpoint if need be, and a nice little find out for that tent. It's going to be 2 quick snipes for Hamburglar on the bamboo, and now it's going to be this nice position up here. Out is able to get that first checkpoint, and that opens up the second phase of this map as members keep going down for Kraken.
Yeah, it looks like from what I saw there in the first minute of the match, they had the Dynamo play on the low ground a little bit, in mid, while they had the Bamboo stay on the high ground. And WPI is making an immediate beeline for this third checkpoint. The tent from my guy doesn't stop them. I think they got it. They got it. Is the Nautilus? The Nautilus stops it from Mash. Mash stops the knockout. WPI goes 2 down, and Kraken Cove now has. Again, they have a lot of work ahead of them. They have to get a knockout now in order to win this fight, which is not a good thing to start with when you're already 3 games down. But this is the time to prove yourself. This WPI is looking like right now the top team in Division 4. So this is Kraken Cove's an opportunity to be like, okay, this is our chance to really stick it to them and prove that we are going to fight and we're going to put up a good show. 2 down from the side of WPI. It looks like Kraken is just taking that right checkpoint, which they're able to get. 3v3 now, and now Kraken Cove is now on the attack here.
We can see a little bit of tense play there kind of going around, but yeah, they had just ended up kind of stealing that first checkpoint there, which is really nice, not having to deal with all the members of Grizzco by taking a alternate line to that checkpoint. But yeah, right now Grizzco really showing us that even though they didn't get that first game in the playoffs, they did not need the practice. Right now they are being very oppressive and forcing the hand of Kraken Cove, as that is a Zuka looking for some over on the side, as the tent is behind last one standing, but it's only the tent. This could be it right here.
Yeah, Hamburglar found the way through. The tent is fighting for all of his life, distracting them enough to where the shot and the knot are able to get back into position. So the tent did his job in order to stop this push, didn't get the picks, but got enough time for his teammates to come back. The suction bomb off of the crab tank is going to kill the Rainmaker, and Kraken Cove doing a very good job at using my guy to distract the Rainmaker long enough to let their teammates get back in here. And now it's Kraken Cove again has to just try and take mid as much as possible. Bunker is going to be very important here. This Dynamo is going to just rain down so much ink. Going to get the assist there. Goes down to the Nautilus, but the Bamboo is able to pick him off with some help in the shot, and now Justin getting in the bunker, and WPI looks like they're just kind of swarming Kraken Cove a little here, even though Kraken Cove now has the special advantage.
Yeah, right there the Bamboo saying, I don't need 99 damage, I can do the rest. As Justin throwing in some wild shots here, trying to make some action. But hey, if Kraken Cove does go on to win this map, my guy deserves huge accolades. That was a ginormous stall, but now we're going to need something else here. because again, we're in a very oppressive position. Bamboozler finding so much value here. The picks, who would have thought? And there is the wipeout, which did feel a little bit more thought out, a little bit more predictable, as that was kind of teased at the beginning. But that's going to put us at 4-0, and you know what that means. This is a match point for our semi-finals match, and Kraken Cove needs a lifeline right now.
Yeah, you saw there at the end, I believe it was Mash on the Nautilus, still the one up, and Nautilus is so good at just lasering down the Rainmaker dunk, but all WPI was like, no, we're gonna make sure you're not here to stop it this time. And you saw, I don't remember who had the Rainmaker, but you saw them hesitate a little bit because they realized, if I just go up here, I'm gonna die again. So I'm gonna wait till the Nautilus is distracted so I can get in the right position to slam it down. WPI does a really good job at breaking that second checkpoint, getting the knockout, and as we're going to head into Game 5 and potentially our match point here on Clan Blitz Robo Ramen. And if you're Kraken Cove, you're like, okay, what do we do? You have to figure something out at this point, because WPI has been so good out on the Dynamo, getting those weird and great flanks, providing so much map control. Justin on the shot, and then everyone else helping out. And then it's just like, what do we do at this point? So Hamburglar on the Blaster and the Bamboozler. You had Seraph on the Dualies. It's like, okay, now it's like we have to make sure we know what we're playing. I think at this point the biggest thing Kraken Cove has to do is, if Out's still in here and goes Dynamo, you have to focus on Out, because that's their main cooler output and their main way of painting the map. And Clan Blitz and Robo Ramen has a big open area in the center where the Dynamo can perch up and paint so much of either side of the mid area and help them get into the goal to score. So if I'm Kraken Cove, I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do against this Dynamo?
I mean, if you're Kraken Cove, you're sweating bullets right now, because you're about to go home. But definitely, this is going to be an uphill battle, to say the least. Clan Blitz here, Robo Ramen. That Dynamo right now is just so much. It's providing so much paint. It's being so oppressive, where you can see that Kraken Cove is putting together relatively succinct pushes, but you're pushing into this Dynamo, and the Dynamo's always there, finding one, finding two in the back, just from you going forward. And this map is going to be horrendous to go up against that, because that middle area is essentially all covered by the Dynamo. Just kind of the mid on Robo. And then, as we've seen on previous maps already, once one team can get possession, especially once Grizzco can get possession, being in your base with the Dynamo, that is going to be one nightmare of a scenario to try to break through. But you can see something very similar to the first map from today on Inkblot, where there is a very quick 20-point deficit going straight for Grizzco, because it's going to be really hard. How do you phase that out?
Yeah, and this 10's gonna, to be fair, the 10 is a good thing that they've brought. They have been able to bring it, and my guy has been doing a really good job at it.
Mm-hmm.
And this 10 shield, if they do bring it again, is gonna be very helpful in order for Grizzco to push in, but it looks like they're not going to do it. They brought out the sloshing machine for a different take on the double Zuka, and it looks like Hamburglar is now going the S-Blast, maybe as a way to, I know they're a Blaster play, but as a different way to counter attempt, but now they have a Booyah Bomb and a Burst Bomb, just a little more chip damage that Kraken Cove has to deal with. But, and here we go, we have I realized the Splash are coming back, and Kraken Cove getting the early pick on the Dynamo, and now the cooler output is gone from WPI, and Kraken Cove is looking to establish mid control early.
Yeah, you can see paint is already going the way of Kraken Cove. It's being traded through a little bit. However, my guy opting for that Zuko, which is getting a nice amount of value there. Opening up some of the field as the Booyah comes out. This could be a little bit tricky here, though. But it's not so tricky when the picks are just coming in from random Zuka shots. Justin doing a lot there. So the stalemate is eventually going to be broken. Now you see over on the right side, we have the Bucket trying to find something, trying to just kind of keep those critical positions a little bit cleared, and then through the left side, same thing happens. Fuel over here extending that pop of the basket, though, eventually gets taken out, but Hamburglar, along with other teammates, are having to be pushed back. Nice little kill there, but it's not going to allow this lead to be pushed any further. All in all, this is a relatively safe defense coming in from Kraken Cove.
Yeah, and earlier how WPI got that push start was a really good synergy there. You saw the booyah bomb like push back some members of Kraken Cove, and just like and Justin was ready on the Zuka to see anyone retreating and just pop them while they were dodging the booyah bomb. So that was really good special coordination from Hamburglar and Justin. But now Kraken Cove has the power clam back. They're looking for a way to get in here. Mash has the power clam, and they're just looking for any way to get in here against WPI and their Dynamo and their blaster. Soda's coming out from Kraken Cove. Booyah bomb's coming out from Grizzco, getting a pick. And it looks like there's a flank, but it's getting stopped. But unfortunately, the knock goes down from the S-Blast, and WPI is working their way back into mid here.
Great pincer, and that's going to be at least one power climb, might have been two, that are just going to go down there really, really tough, because you kind of had the starts of a push, but it goes back to those keys to victory, right? We saw that right now, something that Grizzco is definitely dominating is that good usage of specials. Right now, the specials aren't quite as succinct for the side of Kraken, and that's not allowing them to get these really, really solid pushes like we're seeing from the side of Grizzco, as we see some nice kills coming in from the Charger, which are really also kind of hurting right now, because any one of those picks when you're trying to get these pushes started is going to be really, really struggleful.
Yeah, and Fuel is doing a great job of just overseeing mid as protecting their teammates, letting this Dynamo get all the pain out, letting the shot get a lot of chances to go forward. Unfortunately, they do go down right there, so this is going to be Kraken Cove's main trying to go. WPI is down their their blaster, their Charger was down for a minute, and Kraken Cove now has the cooler ready. The Zuka's going to come out from my guy, and now it's Kraken Cove's time to push, but they're 3 down. This will be lead if they get both these power clams in. They get one. If Kellogg's can get this one in, Kraken Cove will be in the lead for the first time, but not quite. They get pushed so far back. Gets the pick up the Kellogg's, and Kraken Cove, unfortunately, is only going to get 1 power clam score off of this push. Yeah,
we saw the power clam holder essentially Heisman Hezzy them their way out of the fight. You don't want to do that there. You were up 2. You're able to continue going in, but Kraken Cove maybe losing a little bit of their confidence there. That was their push to take the lead. They're not able to get it, and now they're within the 1-minute range, and they have a little bit of penalty that they're going to have to fight through as well. We see the Soda coming out from out, and this could be a little bit of a push here. We can see that they want it right now. Grizzco's looking for their way in. Some paint being pushed out to get out of there. That was a lot of outs, but hopefully it's not an ouch for the team. As 45 seconds down, it just has to be defense at this point. We see my guy trying to make something happen here at the bottom, almost finding the kill, and it is going to be a trade. That might be useful enough if something else is found here, but no, instead it's going to be the end zap down. 30 seconds left. Hamburglar is finding more, going in, being nice and aggressive, and going to be able to put in the booyah as well. No! Nice Zuka!
The Zuka from Chris takes out the booyah bomb, and there goes all the way that WPI was trying to force their way in and probably get a power clam score here. Unfortunately for Kraken Cove, they need a little more than this 1 power clam they got. They need at least 2 other clams. The Zuka takes out the Dynamo, and this is really the time that Kraken needs to go in. They have 3-2. They have mid advantage again. They barely have enough clams.
Another.
It's only the S-Blast up. Another Zuka is out. Is this the time that Kraken Cove gets the pick? Unfortunately, the Zuka has the power clam, so they can't throw it. They can't get it in, out, and the S-Blast from Hamburglar stopping the Zuka, stopping all of the push, and WPI is going to win this set 5-0 against Kraken Cove.
They stop the Zuka, they stop the power clam, and they stop the hopes of Kraken Cove, as Grizzco is going to keep a clean slate, taking a 5-0 and taking the series. What looked to be so good, that last minute Zuka is able to find one, but you're holding the power clam, and it just stayed in hand a little bit too long. Wow, a lot of great chances there for Kraken Cove. Unfortunately, deciding not to take the napkin there, and not taking the win either. Instead, it's going to be prompted over onto Grizzco, who have played themselves quite a set and move forward to the finals. They have won their semifinals match even after getting a bye in the quarterfinals. So congrats to them.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't look if what we're going based off here, it looks like they're just ready to go. And if
Mhm.
I'm Grizzco Gators or Arc Haley, I'm like, okay, we have to deal with our semi match, and then we have to do some serious research onto WPI Grizzco's work here. Grizzco Union Busters. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my WPI teams, but it's so much. There was so much that WPI did well here. You know, the at the end there, the Dynamo from Out and the Blaster from Hamburglar is able to stop Seacrest when they pop Zuka, and they got the pick they wanted, but it's just like it wasn't the time. They maybe should have thrown the power clam in order for someone else to go in, because once you're in that Zuka, you're either dying with the power clam or you have to wait for a good 5 to 10 seconds in order to get going and potentially score. And it just wasn't enough time for Kraken Cove to get the victory here. And Grizzco Union Busters now they're looking to form a perfect season, which would be ridiculous. I don't have stats on me, and I don't know if that's ever been done before. But having a perfect season where you don't lose a single game, that's wild. That's gonna be really wild, and it's gonna be up to Grizzco Gators and or Arcali to not only just take games off them, but try and take the set off them. They are looking like the real big dogs of Division 4, and it's gonna take a lot to take them down from their podium.
Yeah, the big bad guys from the Grizzco Union are coming in and they're trying to achieve this golden season for Worcester Polytechnical. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some extra maps. Always nice to see the extra practice going through. However, we will be having another match in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we'll kind of spectate a little bit here. But I don't know if maybe we want to talk a little bit about what's coming up on this next match for the CCA as the teams go ahead and get ready for this Mahi Mahi splat zones. We will be seeing quite a treat. We're going to Div 1 for this next match. Lagoon, are you excited to see big fat sea cows going up against the night sharks?
Yeah, the VCU Big Fat Sea Cows had a very big upset win. I don't know if it's an upset, but it's a very big win over PSU Blue,
Oh
which,
yeah.
they're really big dogs in Division 1. So that's a really, really big win for them. And I believe they're just starting their quarterfinals game. Yeah, they are. So this is going to be their first game of playoffs, and they're going up against Night Sharks, who are right now have a 4-0 against CSULB Gold and 0-4 against Red Embers, which Red Embers is the other big dog in Division 1. But coming back to this match, that Div 4 match is going to be really good, by the way. But coming back to this match, we're going to look. Oh my! I see. Out is now going Bomb Spam Junior with
Hmm.
some Splattershot Pro and some Gluga Decos and a Splash-O-Matic. And Kraken Cove is now taking WPI's method. They have the Splat Charger and the Nautilus as a bit of a backline midline wing. And now WPI though very quick on the draw, forcing Kraken Cove all the way back into into their base, excuse me. Even though my guy is able to get a good pick there with the Charger, has the strikes ready, and now again it's just a firefight in mid as Kraken Cove is going to look to take the zone here from WPI.
Yeah, something tells me that Grizzco probably has like a scrim setup or something. I think maybe they don't really need the practice right now, or at least that's what they're discussing in chat as we see him coming in with a little bit of a sillier comp. However, it does work here for sure. Like there's definitely some synergy going in there. But yeah, interesting to see that we have kind of the midline, backline going in now for the side of Kraken Cove. Could be interesting to kind of see what type of value it gets. And you can see that the knot is opened up to get these picks in mid. This is essentially what you want to do with the knot. You want to be able to play in these areas, come around for these nice, really big swings. And that's going to be like a 4K for MASH. Like, good job, man. You're doing it. But yeah, it really kind of changes the game, especially for that not player, right? You go from having to kind of play that tempered play style where you have to provide for your team at the same time, but you also want to do these aggressive plays that you know that the not isn't able to do. So this really opens you up to being able to play just one singular play style, which could be very alleviating, very nice. We do have some oppression though, as you can see. Definitely the bomb spam isn't going to be nice to have to run around through as the not, no?
Yeah, and I see that. I'm looking again at WPI's comp. They have a double crab comp, but my guy is saying no crab, no. They have their own strikes. They're gonna try and flip back the zone, but WPI going with a double crab comp here. And if you're able to chain those crabs together, it's doing really well. But unfortunately for WPI, they're just getting taken out by these strikes and everything else that's around them. And it looks like the only one alive left is going to be the Junior. They pop a panic bubble and just trying to take back zone with their double bombs out. He's 1v4ing all of them. It's almost a take back, almost able to take zone by themselves. Almost is able to flip it, able to stall, gets another pick, and they're going crazy. And they're able to push all the way. They are going off right now. Gonna go get the pick on Crips. They have another bubble ready. Protecting the smash on the Nautilus. And we're watching a warrior equipped with a Junior and 2 splat bombs, able to almost solo Kraken Cove right here, having to back up for their teammates, obviously, but pushing so far in and causing so much of a problem for Kraken Cove here.
Yeah, we were getting out there one way or another. But a nice little dive into the water over at the resort is definitely not what you want to see right here. But yeah, for quite a while there, the Grizzco really needed to kill the guy in the back. Who was that guy? My guy, because he was going in with those strikes, making some quick work, getting some nice snipes off, but now it's 10 points left going on to the point. You do have some nice rain, which could maybe help get this back into neutral. Ooh, nice little Zuka from the top rope going around and trying to get some over in the back. It is going to be a pushback again for the side of Kraken Cove, as this seems to stay relatively leveled here. But yeah, they are going to have to be cautious here. Those double crabs haven't been used, I guess, to their full effect yet, but yeah, that can definitely clear a zone out relatively quick. We can see, ooh, someone in the back line there trying to move in with that Junior. Could be horrible, but the penalty is huge now, so we're going to get to see more gameplay here.
Yeah, WPI almost had the game there, but Kraken Cove had the man advantage when it really counted, when there was about 10 ticks left on the timer. And now, final minute coming in. It's going to be really up to how Kraken Cove uses their specials right here. They have the rain, they're going to use strikes now, and Azuka's going to come out, but they're going to go down. The Zuka and the Cooler are gone, and they have a crab tank, and my guy is trying to solo this Junior. He gets in by just tap-shotting, but he goes down, and now WPI is looking for this knockout. 3-2, they get it, and they are now technically up 6-0 against Kraken Cove here. No small thanks to probably out on the Junior, causing such a ruckus for the side of Kraken Cove, being a constant thorn in the side. And yeah, WPI again showing why they are the top dogs of Division 4. Just even when it looks like Kraken Cove has a good thing going, one small thing from WPI is able to break all of it apart. So the foundation is there. It's just a really weak foundation, and WPI is able to exploit that and take advantage when they really need to at the most.
Yeah, you know, nice little silly comp that ends up working, as Grizzco does receive the extra map in our overtime sets. And yeah, we're gonna get to see some more fun stuff here as well as we keep going into it. For this next map, which will probably be our final broadcasted map, we're gonna go to Tower Control Mako. So we have seen the Dynamo all over so far, right? We didn't see it there from out because they were playing some a little fun. But Tower Control, notoriously, can be a really, really strong map for different types of rollers. Do you think we might see something like that? What would you like to see here if either team decides to play some fun stuff, just kind of to entertain us?
If they're going fun stuff, I mean, yeah, as you said, Dynamo's really good here, but also like stuff like Carbon Roller is also really, really good, able to ledge shark there. Even stuff, I'm gonna say, stuff like Big Swig is able to just get so much mileage out of painting everything here. And honestly, I think a lot of rollers work on Mako Mart. There's just so much that works on Mako Mart. That's why you play rollers, you can make it work. You play machine, you play sloshers, you play blasters. There's so much that works here, and it's why it's such a fan favorite map. Chargers in the back, Splatlings are really good. Tri-stringers, we don't see a lot of those. They're also very good. Splatana is especially able to, again, shark and catch people. There's just so much that works on this map, so it's really a smorgasbord of whatever you want to run, and if you're able to make it work, this is the map to test it on, and there is a good chance that at least it'll have some effect, and it'll have some use, and you'll see some success with it.
No, but you were onto something there at the beginning with the Big Swig. At this point, I'm convinced that has to be the play there. I'm assuming the chat wants to see some of that as well. Chat, let's spam some big swig in chat. Like that would be fun. That would be fun. Let's have some fun with it here as the teams finish out getting their comps ready. The Bravo team needing one more from Mash. But yeah, tower control here on Mako, as you said, could be a plethora of different things. For Kraken Cove, unfortunately, their season is over, but still, it could be fun to see some goofy little things coming out here as we head on into our map here. Tower control, going to be the name of the game, as we have to get through some interesting zones here. I think this is a very dynamic map in terms of how you have to play that first checkpoint. Oftentimes on different maps, you're able to give up a first checkpoint. Not on this map so much. You have to be very careful about it because that is the best defendable point there. Second point gets a little bit more difficult, but we do get to see some cool stuff here. We see that Splatana that you had mentioned before. We get to see an E-leader, which can be a real pain in the butt to deal with from the other side of the map. Additionally, we're going to see the ZNF continue to come out. But we can see a bubble early on onto the tower. Going to be a nice little choice there as the Splatana is looking for a little bit. Does have that Zipcaster available, and it's going to get popped going in there, trying to find that nice little pick, but it isn't found in the long term. It's going to have to be a trade out in the back, as some trades just generally happen around. But that was first checkpoint for the side of the Grizzco Union. That's going to be real nice in the future. And oh, a Kraken coming in, clearing the site, trying to find one on the top, and does get him jumping. Mash not long for this world as Hamburglar able to steal away that kill.
Yeah, and the leader from WPI able to keep jumps there with the beacons and their own body as they are going down 3-0 against Kraken Cove. And here you're going to see a lot of sniper v sniper duels with these the Z and Def and the E-leader here, as the crab tank comes out from the from the Splattershot Pro. Out is going in. Here we go again. This flanking junior just causing he's just causing so much of a ruckus. They're not even focusing on tower. They're focusing on the junior. And again, early, you gotta decide when is it worth it to focus objective versus focusing on one person. But the junior from out is just causing so much chaos. He's like a flea in a tick, and finally WPI is stopped. And I don't even know what happened in mid. That they lost tower at some point, and now WPI still has mid under full lockdown as out goes in and just causes such a fuss with this junior bobbing and weaving through everything that Kraken Cove is throwing at them, and they're still near the first checkpoint. They broke through second, and now back to neutral here for the tower, but WPI is still looking to push the advantage here, even though they are in a 2-down position right now.
Oh no, me personally, I'm not taking that type of disrespect. Like, if out is in the back, someone's got to take him out. That cannot just keep happening. But I think out is definitely having a good time in today's match. We get to see some more of Hamburglar here, getting that Zipcaster again. I'm gonna have to maybe wait to use it a little bit. Out does get found by the sniper. Don't want to have to deal with that right now, do we? And it's going to be a Kraken coming in. Ooh, look at all those spicy, juicy squids up on the box. Looking like some fresh calamari going back towards the zone. But Hamburglar is going to have to jump out eventually. Doesn't get the best longevity on that giant octopus. Dead. Yeah, but it's going to be a push coming back in.
Yeah, but while they were doing that Kraken, yeah, they just like kind of scattered everyone. It's like, oh, we've been found. We have to scatter. And in that chaos, WPI found another 2 picks while the Kraken got 1. And now you have fuel here on the tower with the crab tank. So good on tower control on this map because you have those sightlines from the tower in a tank, and you're just able to soak up so many hits. As WPI is looking again for another knockout as they're at the 3rd checkpoint. The Kraken is going out, able to try and get Mash. Not quite protecting fuel, and now this is going to be up to Kraken Cove to try and just stop the last couple points from going in, which they do, and they're going to look to get this tower all the way back to mid and doing a lot to get back into this game here.
Yeah, my guy trying to secure it, ooh, and gets a nice kill on Hamburglar. Very, very nice, very pleasant there to see the sniper gameplay. My guy playing up on left box, but there is someone behind, I believe, having to run away a little bit there. but it's Out who is continuously finding these things. There we go, Out being a nuisance again. And yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of a vendetta from the side of Kraken Cove as Out isn't living quite as long as they were previously. Some nice kills coming in and some nice pressure ults going onto the side of Grizzco Union as well, courtesy of the Covers. As Kellogg's does have to move out a little bit, does have those strikes though maybe to get this final checkpoint, or to at least close it out. It is going to be finished on the capture there. That is nice to see, but it gets taken back. Oh no, it actually has a little bit of a tick left with only 20 seconds left, but the cleanup crew is coming in through the courtesy of Hamburg Alert. And yeah, it's just going to be a box take here, and it seems like this is another map in the bag for the Busters.
Yeah, Kraken Cove just not able to find anything. With the timer running out, the Kraken is now going to come out and take all those people off tower. Get off, get out. We're done. We're going home. 7 wins to WPI. Kraken Cove, again, just wasn't able to get through that Kraken. Wasn't able to get through that Junior specifically. And WPI, as we said before, and we'll keep saying until they have their finals match, is looking very strong to take this Division 4 crown. The real question is, A, will they lose a match? And B, who is going to be the team to go up against them? We will find that out in the next coming weeks. But it looks like that is all we're going to have time for, as we're going to have our Division 1 match with Big Fat Sea Cows versus Night Sharks. Yeah, Nasu, where can the people find you?
People can find me on my Twitter at Nasu11910, proud president of Splatoon at UH. We're cultivating some great stuff over there. We're ready to come back next season with some fire. Where can the people find you, Lagoon?
You can find me at Twitter and all the sites at Lagging Lagoon. Yeah, my team, Titans of Alterna, also going to be looking to make a big splash next season. And I have to say congratulations to WPI. I know I have... I try and remain unbiased, but I have some amount of affinity towards them, and I can't wait to see what happens as they go into their final match here in Division.